Today, we're cracking open the vault on a story that honestly feels like it was ripped straight out of a Hollywood screenplay. I mean, we're talking about the largest burglary in English legal history. It's this wild tale of absolute audacity, meticulous planning, and a gang of thieves who completely defied every single expectation. So get comfortable, because we're about to walk step by step through the infamous Hatton Garden Heist.
So picture this, it's 2015, and the entire globe is absolutely obsessed with one central mystery. Who on earth managed to pull off a £14 million robbery right in the dead center of London? When news of the heist first broke, everyone, and I mean everyone, immediately assumed it had to be the work of some elite, hyper-sophisticated international criminal network. Given the sheer scale and precision of the break-in, authorities were pointing fingers at groups like the infamous Pink Panthers from the Balkans, or, maybe some hand-picked team of phantom experts united by an underworld mastermind.
Well, let's dive right into this, because the contrast between what the media assumed and what the reality actually was, it is literally gobsmacking. The press was running wild, right? Pushing these theories of hyper-modern, acrobatic super thieves using state-of-the-art tech. But the truth? Actually, scratch that. The truth was hiding in plain sight, and it was vastly different from the glamorous, high-octane Hollywood narrative spinning on the evening news. The real culprits? They weren't international phantoms at all.
448. Just take a second to let that number sink in. That is the combined age of the gang that pulled this off. No way, right? But it's true. The reality is that this quote-unquote sophisticated break-in was executed by a group of elderly British men, literally pensioners and grandfathers. We aren't talking about a team of athletic cat burglars in their prime. Nope, this was a crew of aging, seasoned veterans of the London underworld who just decided to pull off one last massive job.
Now, to really grasp just how audacious this was, we gotta look at the target itself. Imagine a fortress holding the life savings and irreplaceable family heirlooms of London's elite. For centuries, Hatton Garden has been the beating heart of London's gem trade. It's packed with nearly 300 dealers and over 50 jewelry shops. And hidden deep beneath one of these buildings was the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Limited. Now, this wasn't just some standard back room. It was a subterranean vault where wealthy traders and families stashed their most precious belongings. We're talking solid gold bars, raw diamonds, flawless sapphires, you name it. To the outside world, this vault seemed absolutely impenetrable.
So who were the men who managed to breach the unbreachable? Let's meet the crew. We've got Brian Reeder at 77. He's the oldest and the most experienced of the bunch, acting as the leader. Then there's Terry Perkins, a veteran criminal who, get this, actually celebrated his 67th birthday on the very weekend of the raid. You've got John Kenny Collins at 75 playing the lookout. Daniel Jones at 61 is the hands-on vault raider, and finally Michael Seed at 58. He was the mysterious insider known as Basil, basically a group of old men with a tremendously bold plan.
Now here's the kicker. The way they planned this is just fascinating. This was absolutely no impulsive smash and grab. The scale of the operation matched the massive size of the haul, and it was literally 3 years in the making. But instead of plotting in some high-tech underground bunker with laser blueprints, these grandfathers held their regular Friday meetings at the Castle Pub in Islington. They just sat there, Friday after Friday, casually sipping pints of beer while painstakingly mapping out one of the greatest heists in modern history. I mean, the juxtaposition is just stunning, isn't it?
All those pints and patient planning eventually led them to the absolute perfect window of opportunity. The gang chose the Easter bank holiday weekend of April 2015. Why? Well, they knew the entire Hatton Garden building would be completely locked down and empty for 4 days straight. They didn't just need a couple of hours. They needed days of uninterrupted time to break through some of the thickest reinforced walls in all of London. So the timing? Absolutely crucial to pulling this off.
Okay, so how on earth did they actually do it? Let's break it down. Step 1. CCTV actually caught them arriving in a van, boldly disguised as gas repairmen, just slipping into the building through a fire escape. Step 2, this elderly crew physically climbed down a lift shaft to reach the basement. I know, right? And step 3, which was the real heavy lifting. They burrowed into the heavily fortified vault wall using a massive, heavy-duty, diamond-tip drill. They created a hole just barely big enough for 2 men to squeeze through. It was incredibly arduous, exhausting, physical labor. And once they were inside, oh, they didn't hold back. 73. That's the number of individual safety deposit boxes they managed to pry open. Just picture the scene for a second. These men, in the pitch dark, using heavy crowbars and roaring angle grinders over a holiday weekend to brutally bust open box after box. They systematically emptied out lifetimes of savings, business inventories, and raw jewels, and literally just stuffed them into wheelie bins and bags. Wild.
But wait, it gets crazier. There's this darkly comic twist to the story that is honestly hard to believe. During all this drilling and grinding, the police actually received a burglar alarm alert from the building. The system totally worked. But due to some protocol confusion and human error, the police categorized the alarm as requiring no response, so they sent absolutely no one. The gang was inside, actively robbing the vault, the alarm went off, and the authorities effectively just hit the snooze button.
Now, amidst all the wild, movie-like headlines, we really can't forget the real human cost here. The victim stories reveal a pretty stark reality. Take retired jeweler Kilda Jacobson, for example. He ran his own store for 45 years. He pointed out that modern systems alert owners on their phones the second a break-in occurs. But this vault? It was completely outdated. And cruelly, it was the very first time he had ever used a safety deposit box for his uninsured jewelry. He suffered a massive six-figure dent to his pension fund. It was just devastating for the people who trusted that vault.
So what does this all mean? I think this quote from a police officer really hits the nail on the head. They were analog criminals operating in a digital age. These men absolutely knew how to defeat physical locks, thick concrete walls, and heavy steel bars. They were masters of the old-school methods of breaking and entering. But what they completely failed to comprehend was the modern, invisible web of digital surveillance that was just waiting for them the second they stepped back out onto the streets of London.
Ultimately, it was that exact old-school hubris that brought the whole thing crashing down. They celebrated way too soon. The police easily tracked their getaway van using London's extensive CCTV network. And once they knew who they were looking for, detectives just planted listening bugs right in their favorite pub. Those digital bugs recorded the men loudly and proudly boasting about the job over pints. I mean, one of the members was even surveilled leading police straight to his stash of the stolen loot, hidden behind a gravestone in a cemetery. You can't make this up.
And justice? It moved fast. Branded the largest burglary in English legal history, the trial ended with 5 men being jailed for up to 7 years. And here's a detail I love. When the judge handed down the sentences, noting that the crime stands in a class of its own, the ringleaders John Collins, Daniel Jones, and Terry Perkins all politely stood up, simply said thank you to the judge, and sat back down. Old school manners right to the very end of the line.
But wait, there was one major loose end. What about the mysterious insider? The guy they called Basil, who is caught on CCTV wearing this distinct red wig. For 3 whole years, he remained a total ghost. Rumors were swirling that he'd fled overseas with millions, but the reality? Far less glamorous. Michael Seed, an unemployed bachelor, was finally arrested just 2 miles away from the scene of the crime. Police raided his flat in Islington and found 143,000 pounds worth of stolen gold ingots, gems, and jewelry just stashed inside. And this right here really illustrates the lasting frustration of the whole case. An estimated 14 million pounds worth of valuables was stolen from that vault. Yet, to this day, only about 4.3 million has ever been recovered. Now, the court did order the 4 ringleaders to pay back 27.5 million or serve another 7 years in jail, but the fact remains, roughly 2/3 of that staggering haul completely vanished into the criminal underworld. Now, despite the obvious ruin this caused for so many families, you kind of can't deny the cinematic flair of it all. The sheer audacity of these elderly men pulling off this crime turned it into a massive pop culture phenomenon. It inspired books, TV dramas, and blockbuster films. In one of the movies, Sir Michael Caine, playing Brian Reader, delivers a line that just perfectly encapsulates the gang's ethos. Let's show the digital generation what the old school can do. And, for one long holiday weekend, they undeniably did exactly that.
Which brings us to one final burning question. Where is the rest of the Hatton Garden loot? We're talking 10 million pounds worth of gold, irreplaceable heirlooms, and diamonds that are still out there, somewhere, hidden away or fenced off to parts unknown. These analog criminals might be sitting behind bars, but they took a massive secret with them. It's like a giant puzzle with missing pieces. A mystery that continues to baffle detectives and fascinate us to this very day. So, what do you think happened to the rest of the stash?